No, you don't need the.
I'm doing this my way. He a legend, he a legend, he a legend. He a legend, he a legend, he a legend.
Talking on it though, then
He
you
a
can't push it
legend.
up later.
Welcome to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league of items. Welcome to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league of items.
What's up, everybody? It's Pikel with League of Items, and I wanted to take a quick look at patch 10.18 and 10.19 for Worlds. So let's just get right into it. So patch 10.18, Ari was buffed. I think she does actually have chances to come back into the meta, especially after her subsequent buff in 10.19. Jarvan is always a champion that has a chance to make it onto the world stage because he does some things that are unique. He obviously has his ultimate, which is very impactful. Can go tank, can go damage. Most likely will go tank in at Worlds. Kayle is an interesting champion. If we see a lot of Ornn, we can see Kayle. Not sure if that's really likely though. Galio has a slight nerf. Ashe has a slight nerf. Their kits are still fine. They will be played at Worlds most likely. Like I said, Kayle only if there's an Ornn sighting. Kog'Maw I think will be played at Worlds as well. This is a slight nerf, but Kog'Maw is in an okay spot if you're red side and can pick ban around it correctly. Miss Fortune still does what she does very well. Her AoE ultimate's very strong, has a decent laning phase, is pretty good with a lot of different team compositions. So I think Miss Fortune is on her way back into a lot of players' champion pools. Rumble is a very good champion, and whenever they touch Rumble, you have to expect it to come back into pro play. We could see some top Rumble, mid Rumble, theoretically jungle, and also we've seen it in support. So I do expect to see Rumble. How much? It's not really clear yet. Set was nerfed again, but Set's kit is another. It's another champion where the kit is so good that it might not be. This might not be enough for like support Set or jungle Set. It just still might be too good of a kit. Shen's shield was slightly decreased. Not a big deal. People like playing Shen right now. That's going to continue. AP Shyvana, don't get me started. I hate AP Shyvana. Twitch E damage per stack ratio increased. R bolt damage reduction per enemy hit decreased. So that's two buffs for Twitch. Twitch Yumi is a thing. Don't expect to see much Twitch, but it's certainly possible. Xin Zhao not going to be seen at Worlds. It would be shocking if he was. Good carry jungler, can engage, but is not a tank, so it decreases the chances of it being picked outside of the carry junglers. So 1019, I haven't looked at this at all, so I'm seeing this for the first time, just like you are. So first off, Samira. I don't think Samira is going to be playable at Worlds. It's a new champion. I'm not going to spend time talking about that here. Ahri, W cooldown and cost reduced. That's fine. I think that Ahri jungle is something that might happen eventually because they changed her passive to let all of her abilities heal. So I think you could be just like rotating through your spells in the jungle, still stay healthy. I think it's possible, but it's not going to happen at this Worlds, I don't think. Akali was slightly nerfed. Basically, they just took away her buffs that they gave her. So basically, it's like Akali was not being played. They gave her two small buffs. Everybody started playing her, thinking that she was amazing. They take away the buffs. We will still see Akali at Worlds, in my opinion, because the community doesn't actually think about like how big of a nerf or a buff it is. They just see, oh, look it, Akali was buffed. She must be broken. Oh, Akali is nerfed. Maybe she's horrible, but they're not going to. There's nothing. There's not enough in this to make her horrible. So unless scrims and everything go horribly wrong, I think the amount that they've been playing Akali recently will convince them that she is still powerful. Aphelios, still a very good champion. This is completely not necessary to have Aphelios seen at Worlds. You just have to pick ban correctly and look for spots to pick Aphelios in the second half of draft. So this is a good thing for Aphelios. It's bad if you don't like watching Aphelios, but Aphelios is in an okay spot right now. Azir W bonus attack speed decreased. I'm not an Azir player. I don't think this matters. Azir is always going to stick around because of the amount that players have played it and also the utility it offers teams. The ultimate is a game breaker, so I don't think this is enough. Caitlyn. I think that Caitlyn's overrated already. This is a nerf. It's not going to stop her from being played because her playstyle is somewhat unique. Her ability to bully in lane and siege is really good, so I expect to see her still. Our barrage and perimeter base damage increased later. Aurelia just got a buff for no reason. This isn't going to turn her into a broken champion. She's already a broken champion. But it needs to be in certain matchups, in certain team compositions. Aurelia will be played at Worlds. She will be popular. Maybe not popular, but she will be strong. Ivern has seen a little pro play. East load increased. Maybe we see Ivern. I doubt it. That would be pretty far off the board. Lucian base attack damage growth decreased. I don't think that's enough to make Lucian a bad champion. He's still very strong early game. There are ways to beat Lucian, but it's still a very strong champion because of the playstyle that it allows. Senna, missed Wraith drop chance on minion kills decreased. Okay, so if this goes back to Senna, fasting Senna, I think it's fine. Sivir, passive bonus movement speed increased. This is the kind of thing that should have absolutely no impact on her play rate, but it will have an impact on her play rate. Sivir's a good wave clearing champion. It's good to give your teammates the ultimate speed boost as well. Things like Hecarim are already in play. Hecarim, I think we could probably see Olaf in this situation. You could see Sivir with a set, I think would be good. Sivir always makes sense to me. It's just when can you pick it in the draft without hurting yourself. Sylas R cooldown decreased later. That's a pretty big buff for Sylas. That is one of the things that they nerfed originally about him. So I think Sylas will be popular at Worlds. There is a lot that separates a good Sylas from a great Sylas, so hopefully we have some great Sylas performances. Twisted Fate remains a meta driving force in pro play as a safe roamer. I don't think Twisted Fate is as good as everybody else does right now. Definitely punishable. You just need to attack it in the laning phase. But if teams don't like playing around it, they're just going to ban it. Udyr, buffed. Whatever. I don't think anybody's going to play Udyr. Vayne, our bonus AD increased. Vayne has been in the shadows of late, so she has a little buff. If we do see Vayne, it'll be a lot of fun to watch. But this, I don't think that we've seen anything here that should fundamentally change who we see at Worlds. But it generally happens that people overreact to things. So I guess Ahri could be picked mid lane in certain matchups, but it's not great. Aurelia was already going to see play, so she should see a lot of play. Sylas was already going to see play, should see a lot of play. Aphelios, maybe this makes some people try Aphelios again, and they pick ban around it differently, and it works. When in reality, that means like the 99.5% of the champion that hasn't changed is what makes it strong. This is just a nice cherry on top. But that's basically it. So getting into Worlds, I expect the most important champions to be Urgot, Akali, and Senna. Even after this, Bard is another important champion, and then all the carry junglers. The reason I think Urgot is going to be very important is because it's a very strong champion right now, and it might be one of the best ways to deal with Akali. So teams that have Urgot, it's something I'm looking at right now. But that is basically it. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.